Bitcoin right now just hanging out, all-time high area, approaching $100,000. And I want to start with something. We're going to look at the weekly chart on Bitcoin because in here lies more clues, a different perspective of data in terms of the altcoin super season that I really think is about to kick off. So hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. I want to start here. Bitcoin approaching $100,000, Cardano approaching $1, DOG approaching 1 billion, and altcoin season, I think we need to readjust. I'm readjusting. Altcoin super season is just beginning. I'm bringing up this post very briefly because we're going to talk about these three cryptos in this video. And if you're new out there, these are the three cryptos that just have my attention right now. This is, for me, what I am just focused on. But we're really, in the first part of the video, we're going to talk about altcoin season in general. So it doesn't matter what altcoins you hold. We're going to talk about the cycles and what is happening right now. I said altcoin super season imminent. Think about this as we're about to dive into this data. When retail showed up at this moment last cycle, Bitcoin was around 20,000. It kicked off altcoin season because that seems expensive to retail compared to altcoins. What do you think happens this cycle when Bitcoin is 100,000? No hate on Bitcoin for being 100,000. Bitcoin is leading the way in terms of crypto right now. It is the roadmap for bear markets and bull markets. But this time around, we're at $100,000. What is retail going to do? They're going to go to altcoins. And there's so much more potential for gains in altcoins in a bull market. That's historically the case, and it's likely just the case this cycle. Let's dig into the weekly chart and talk about altcoin season, altcoin super season. This is the deal. I've been breaking down the data on Bitcoin charts for years. This chart, even back in 2018, you could see Bitcoin was like hovering around $3,500. Taking Bitcoin data from all different pieces, technical analysis data, and just anticipating the bull cycle, the last bull cycle that we had, the bull market, and then into the bear market, and then now into this bull market, which is kind of where we are right now, right? Post-Bitcoin halving, this is where we are. This has played out so well. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because so many pieces of data I've covered over the years. I can't even mention it in a video because there's so many. This is another angle in terms of altcoin season data. The data works. The data is consistent. It's not guaranteed, but it's so consistent, everybody. TechDev says, win alt season. A buddy just sent this to me. Not sure, but the last two started after 3 consecutive weekly closes over the last Bitcoin weekly high. Let's look at this. Y'all know I've been talking about altcoin season. These purple lines that you see, the yellow lines are Bitcoin halvings. These purple lines are altcoin season historically. And this is speculatively where altcoin season is going to start this time, the beginning of December. Now, he's coming at a different angle. These purple lines for me are kind of based off the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? So basically January 2021, last cycle, Bitcoin dominance fell, and it lined up very nice from a time frame perspective of when it fell back here, 2017. And that's where we got this data for this purple line. You know, Bitcoin dominance getting ready to fall. Potentially. I like how TechDev says, not sure. None of us are sure. We can't guarantee anything. This might not play out. I really think it's going to. I think crypto is so well positioned and we're still so early in the cycle, but we have to be careful. We always have to just be careful. So back to the Bitcoin chart. He's saying the last two started after 3 consecutive weekly closes over the last Bitcoin weekly high. Let's go into the weekly chart. Check this out. Let's look at the last cycle first. So, and we just really referenced this, the $20,000 area. Here is Bitcoin breaking all-time high. It's in that $20,000 area. And look at these candles. 1, 2, 3. And what happens right here? Altcoin season, that purple line, January 2021. That's what it looked like last cycle. That's what he's saying. Amazing that piece of data lines up with altcoin season. So I wanted to point that out. And then I wanted to go and just look at right now, the chart. And right now we're not hovering around 20,000. We're hovering just below $100,000. So what do we have now, right? We have 1, 2, we have this green weekly candle, which closed up here around $81,000 or so. What is getting ready to happen in the next 1 to 2 weeks based on this data that we have? I mean, the Bitcoin dominance data already, and even if you look at a Bitcoin dominance chart, I know it's looking very strong right now. It's just even right now as I do the video, it's just even going higher into this lower high Fibonacci. We have this range up to around 66% in play. It's a lower high. But if you look at the momentum oscillator, I'm curious to see how this plays out. This weekly momentum oscillator potentially putting in bearish divergence, keeping an eye on some type of momentum bearish divergence on the Bitcoin dominance chart as we approach this historical indicator altcoin season compared to previous cycles. So going back to the Bitcoin weekly chart, just look at it. It is lined up and ready. So what does this mean? This means it is time to prepare, everybody. The move that we had last cycle, if we're looking at this from this moment, from altcoin season, just to give you an idea, if I can find my date range from altcoin season to Bitcoin's high, 300 some days, right around 300 days. That 300 days goes so fast. And you can even see with Bitcoin, huge massive dip before that last swing high, a lot of doubt happening there. So it's going to be a very volatile environment and it's going to go by very fast. And so right now, it's nice to see the green candles. Even as I do this video, Bitcoin is, it's basically breaking all-time high. That's kind of where we are right now. Dip, consolidation, all-time high. Dip, consolidation, all-time high. It's all-time high after all-time high. We're in price discovery right now. So here's Bitcoin on the daily chart. And then I want to look at Cardano and I want to look at DOG, everybody, and just talk about these altcoins because I think they're going to outperform in this cycle. So on the Bitcoin daily, it's hard to, when we're in all-time high price discovery area, it's really hard to do any type of analysis. The one thing that I do know, and you can go back to last cycle, and we can actually even go to last cycle, post-Bitcoin halving. Let's remove that. If we're looking at Bitcoin daily chart, here's January 2021. This is altcoin season beginning. I just want to point out, Bitcoin floated above that 20-day moving average before finally pulling in right when altcoin season was starting. So we're in a very similar environment on the daily chart. And that is to say, Bitcoin could very simply just keep putting in higher highs, higher lows. We get to that beginning of December area, time for altcoin season, and then Bitcoin consolidates. So Bitcoin looks like it wants $100,000, and it is like so close to $100,000. If we measure the move, we're looking at around, what is this? 5 to 6%, everybody, from $100,000. Sounds crazy to even say that. Let's pivot to Cardano. Then I want to talk about some DOG because these two cryptos, they're my two top holds going into this bull cycle. So Paul said new TVL all-time high for Cardano in USD. Next up is ADA TVL high. And once Bitcoin OS kicks in, looks like he's got a little rocket there. So didn't even realize this, but the chart it's actually happening, everybody. USD TVL, if I move this over because I think it's off the screen, all-time high right now in Cardano. This is massive for the ecosystem. And many people might just be like, well, 500 million, come on, that's like nothing compared to the rest of crypto. But you have to realize, once ADA price doubles, triples, as Paul said, get Bitcoin OS, get Bitcoin liquidity in play. These bridges that are being built to other ecosystems like Ripple and Stellar, the speculation of, Charles being an advisor to Trump administration, speculation of elections, Cardano being used for elections. This TVL can skyrocket so fast in a bull market. And I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. So ADA on the weekly, I wanted to mention this on the weekly chart. We are at a very big resistance level. I don't know if ADA is going to take a break here or just explode through it. The resistance level is kind of this bull market door area for ADA. And I really think we can call it a bull market door area. It's different than the indicator we use for Bitcoin bull market doors. Bitcoin bull market doors is taking a Fibonacci from a bull market high to a bear market low. And we have this green area up here. That's the 786 to 618 Fibonacci. That's the bull market doors for Bitcoin. For ADA, it doesn't work. Just look at this. On this chart, it's like, it just does not work. It's way too high. And it doesn't have that bull market indicator early enough. Now, what does, though, for me is this. Two very simple areas. That is the 200 week moving average. ADA is currently And this is why the next 4 days are incredibly crucial for ADA to see if we can close above it. There might be resistance. We might get an ugly candle close. I'm going to keep an eye on it. But right now, the 200-week moving average up to this area, and that is this previous swing high in the bear market going down, this throwback, or I should say pullback, to this 20-week moving average around $1.20, 25 or so area. That entire range, huge macro resistance. ADA gets above it and through it, it's game on, everybody. Those are the bull market doors for ADA, in my opinion. And you can just see last cycle, that area was the swing high in the bear market was, and that's a lower high, was right around 40 cents. I mentioned this, I think, in yesterday's video. We did not have a 200-week moving average, right? We just didn't. So I don't know exactly where it would have been back here, but you can just see ADA took a little bit of a break kind of in this range, and then it was game on. And notice what's there, altcoin season indicator. So it's happening again, in my opinion, altcoin season indicator right here, just waiting to see how ADA interacts with this kind of resistance area. ADA BTC worth noting right now, in terms of what is happening, just look at this. The move, as we're talking about altcoin season kind of in the beginning of December right here, and we're talking about last altcoin season being in January, beginning of January, just look at this. This is when ADA made its move last cycle. And actually, it's making the move a little bit earlier against BTC this cycle, a little bit earlier, but it's making the move nonetheless. And right now, we have to allow for consolidation and we have to allow for confirmations. Right now, I would absolutely like to see ADA close above this 50-week moving average in blue and just start putting in higher highs and higher lows above that area. An explosive move. We might have to wait until altcoin season truly kicks off to see ADA escape these lows that it's in right now. But similar vibe to last cycle at this moment, post-Bitcoin halving. So that's ADA. Now I want to talk about DOG, everybody. I mean, I am so bullish on both. I really am. But DOG has something special going for it that right now I just don't think anything in crypto has. I reposted this. We talk about DOG hitting the $1 billion milestone a lot, but DOG is going to fly to the more meaningful 10 billion at the culmination of tier 1 listings. 10 billion is a number where people start taking seriously what I meant when I said DOG is going to flip Doge. Check this out, bro. Still, most people won't believe it, but the path for people to start believing this is just flipping, you know, Boom, Brett, Popcat, Bonk. Like, DOG is going to flip those things like so easily. So realize DOG is approaching $1 billion market cap with no tier 1 listings. Unprecedented, everybody. Once the tier 1 listings start flying, and I don't know what the order will be, I don't know who it will be, but just imagine Kraken, OKX, Binance. DOG right now on this meme coin chart is sitting down here, right? There it is. It's like well, let me refresh the page just to kind of see where exactly it is, but you can see number 133 total and behind a bunch of these altcoins or these meme coins. But this 748 million can double very quick. And then all of a sudden, it's up here right behind Popcat, okay? And then it's flipping Popcat. It's flipping Brett. This story, I really think, and this was, that clip was a little bit ago, it was a while ago. This story is about to play out. I genuinely think that all of a sudden, DOG is going to be in the top 5, and then it's going to be, can it flip Bonk? Can it flip Pepe? Guess what? And then there it is. People will start talking about, can it actually catch up to Dogecoin? Genuinely think that's going to happen. It will be so interesting to see if it does. This isn't a thing that I'm talking about is going to happen in a week or even a month, but over the course of the next few months, the next 6 months, this is how the narrative is going to form itself. Genuinely think that. I'm excited to track it. Right now, in terms of some of the DOG news, Vincent over here, like the top DOG fluencer, puts out great content. Numerous OKX clients report DOG ticker listed on spot trading option. Deposit pending, hinting the potential first tier 1 centralized exchange listing. So it looks like it really might be OKX. And I'm just going to leave it at that. If there's other things that signal that it could be OKX. What I want to point out here is the chart. The DOG chart right now hanging out. Look at this. Right now, it's actually getting a little bounce on the daily. But just look at something. I have Doge from last cycle, and I've charted this a while ago as well. I don't know if this is going to continue like playing out the way it is, but insane to look at Doge in orange compared to DOG right now. You can see actually DOG is overperforming, just about overperforming Doge last cycle at this moment. And by the way, this purple line should be not in November, but it should be the beginning of December, somewhere around here, just to give you an idea. So altcoin season picking up, altcoin season starting, say in December. Well, last cycle, you can see Doge right around 1.5 billion. Is that possible for DOG in the next few weeks? I really think it is. But needless to say, you can just see how it's kind of on track and comparing with Doge. I don't think that's going to play out exactly. I'm not sitting here saying leg up for DOG, consolidation, leg up for DOG. I don't think it's going to play out. Narratives happen. They're going to happen differently this cycle, and there's going to be different news playing into DOG moves. But I will say this, DOG, the number one meme coin on the number one chain, is a meme coin narrative that no other meme coin has ever had, and no other meme coin will ever have it again. And the DOG army, everybody, is absolutely crazy. So here's Dogecoin last cycle. And just to give you an idea, looking at Dogecoin, this is the Dogecoin market cap. You can just see it did start really taking off in altcoin season. And so I'm anticipating something like that with DOG in a very powerful way. I'll end with this because DOG and ADA, they're two top plays of mine. I am so impressed. I just put this poll out tonight. It looks like DOG is losing, but I will say this emphatically. DOG is not losing. Number one, DOG is months old, right? And number two, this is a Cardano poll. Cardano, no one ever usually stands a chance against a Cardano poll. It just is what it is. The community is massive. But DOG to even be at 35% versus 64% right now is insane to me. It really is. It shows the power of the DOG community on X. This is a brand new coin, everybody. The DOG army is something not to underestimate. I will say that. And when we're looking at a DOG chart, that is something very important to take in mind in terms of what happens next on this chart, because I think there's a lot of people, a lot of exchanges, a lot of big money that is just watching DOG right now, and they're like, is this something? And I'm just saying right now, yeah, this is early stage Dogecoin. That's what it is. So these are just my opinions. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. Do whatever you want to do, but I'm very excited to track this crypto. So really the results of this poll that I did, being a bull on both Cardano and DOG, I'm very happy with these results so far. I'm actually curious to see what happens in the next 21 hours. Who knows? So these are my thoughts on crypto. These are my thoughts on altcoin super season, and all that good stuff. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. Bitcoin making a move so close to 100,000. Hit the subscribe, turn notifications on, smash the like button if you enjoyed the video. Your support means a ton to me. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.